Great. Thank you so much, Sean. Thank you everyone for coming today. And I'd like to thank our wonderful panelists who are going to share with you a wealth of knowledge related to the importance of community engaged research in aging. So Ms. Ella Greene-Moton, Ms. Sadler, Mr. Evans, thank you so much for coming today. I'd like to just start off by asking each of you to just tell us a little bit about your experience with community engaged research, either as a participant or as a community leader.
Well, I'll start off.
Okay.
I have been involved for, I don't know, really over 20 years. Before retirement, I worked with General Motors, and that's not unusual if you live in Flint. And after retirement, I also became involved. And with the water crisis, I really stepped up. But at any rate, just briefly, I probably was more of a participant while I was working. And, I gained knowledge, during my participation. I just thought that, maybe it was something I would do that would just help people and help, the science effort, the medical science effort in general. But after retirement, I got into it, and it really got into the community-based participatory research aspect of it. And I guess I'll talk more about it later, but it was really, eye-opener and really rewarding experience, and still is. I'll stop there.
Great. Ms. Sadler, you want to add anything? I'm sorry, Ms. Greene-Moton.
That's okay.
You can go ahead.
Okay, so I was actually introduced to this whole process in the early 90s. And I was invited to join an advisory board, the McCree North Advisory Board. And it was connected with the process where community organizations, academic institutions, and practice had come together to work together to create this community-based research process. And so that's how I got involved. And research was always part of what I understood this whole process to be, and understanding that the engagement had much more to do with just being made aware that something was going on in the community, but it actually had to do with being really involved and leaving something behind after that process is done. So, and like Luther said, I'll get a chance to talk more about it, but it was a real journey. It started out that way, and it continues to be.
Wonderful. You made a really important point there about, just the importance of actually engaging in a meaningful way, as opposed to just sort of people being aware that research is going on. And certainly all three of you have experience in engagement. Ms. Sadler, do you want to tell us a little bit about your experience?
Yes, I actually been working with advocating for families for many, many years. I guess you could say close to 50 years. For 29 of those years, I worked as a teacher, but not in the classroom. I was actually asked to write an original program for the Princeton City School Districts that empowered families. At that point in Cincinnati, families were not engaged in much of anything when it came to their own lives, African-American families. There were so many other people telling them what's good for them, what is not good for them. And so I was asked to come to Cincinnati and write an original program to teach people how to be viable partners in their own lives. And so with that program, and then coming back to Flint, I was invited to CBOP and have been in love with CBOP ever since. Been engaged with the community-based organization partners, but just not that, but community based participatory research over the last 12 years. And I've had a lot of eye openers, but I have learned more and more each and every day just how important it is. It has been an honor to be able to be a part of many research projects over the years that were brought to CBOP or to the CERB, and still continue to work in partnership on papers and research projects. And so I'm very grateful to be able to do that, and do definitely understand how important it is that community people, especially African Americans, realize that we are a viable partnership and need to be engaged that way. No big I and little you. You can't do it without us, is the bottom line.